Episode 7.
We're official as a whistle this week.
Yeah, we're super official. But we're
Actually, I didn't have my mic on, so I have it on now. Does everybody else have their mic on?
Yeah.
Brissy, you cut your mic on.
Is my mic?
If no,
God, we thought about that.
We're back!
for real this time.
And we're official this week. We have new mics, we have a table, we have a special guest with us. We are podcasting.
We came a long way since episode 1 in less than 2 months, because if this is episode 7, it hasn't even been a full 2 months. So this is just like visualization that what we are manifesting for ourselves is going to continue to grow, because we've been serious, like dedicated, period.
We've been self-disciplined too. We've been disciplining ourselves to hold ourselves accountable, to make sure that we record, because we have promised that every week we're going to drop new episodes. So no matter what's going on in our lives, in the daytime, whatever, when it comes down to the day we got to record, we're being disciplined, and I'm really proud of all of us for that.
Even if we've had to reschedule, we've been for real about but we have to get this done before Sunday. So we're just gonna keep going. So we've been making sure that it's fucking me up, bro. I think that should I go check it? You can go check it. We can always edit it. Let me pause this.
They say
This
you
never.
try to whisper.
Let me see what it's. Now that we got that together.
It's my first day as audio, so
Just some technical difficulties.
you learn new stuff every day.
Look, we ain't got our wine on the floor no more, so we don't have to worry about picking it up. So that's fine. We can get up as many times as we need to get up. It's nothing. All right, ladies. So who's starting the topic? Self-discipline. No.
I feel like this was 1,000% your topic, because last week you was ready. So
Before we start though, we did not introduce our special guest. We did not. Even though you have been a special guest before, it's the visual now, so now we can see you. So
now they're like, oh, she's
yeah,
the guest.
we can put the face to the voice, and
Oh, she's the guest.
Ah,
This is her picture.
there we go. Look, because I've been feeling
We're excited to have you here.
Absolutely.
sorry to call you out.
This is my blood sister. We look nothing alike, but that's all
I
right.
think we are starting
Y'all
to
do
look
look alike.
The older we get, maybe we're starting to look like mama. So shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Shell for birthing 2 beautiful girls and being a mother to this group. She's like a extended mother. Maybe we'll get her on the show for Mother's Day.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Oh, yeah,
that would be
that'd be
sweet. That would be the
I think that would be really nice to get her on the show for Mother's Day. And even add the other mothers in as well. I think that'd be nice. Let's talk about that, ladies. Okay, anyway. Self-discipline, no. That's not even a word. I made it up.
You don't know.
I'm sure
Pretty
that
sure
it's
that's
not. I'm sure.
Could be a whole other language that we don't know yet.
But someone that I used to be cool with, she said if you add like O and to the end of words, that it makes them Spanish. So
Yeah, that's what
she'd be like, policia. And so I'm just like, this self-discipline, no, why?
disclosure. We do not mean that to offend anyone. If anyone
No,
takes
this
it
is
wrong.
all love, baby. This
All
is all love. All love.
That's honestly a language I hear about, Spanish. I be telling myself I'm gonna teach me Spanish. I learned a few words, so she's right. And that is a lot of words on
And
self-discipline. Oh
I was
my
about to
God.
say,
Let
if you
me write
become
that down.
self-disciplined, you can learn Spanish.
Spanish.
I am not self-disciplined at all.
Spanish.
And I have a lot of issues disciplining myself. I think that's because when it gets to me, I discipline so many people all day. When it gets to me, I'm like, hey, girl, you're on your own. Make it work.
But you have more. We all have more self-discipline than we think.
That's
like
true.
you say that, but
That's true.
You show us that day by day, because we be like, we don't know how you do some of the things you do when you are homeschooling the kids and when you were working and running the business all at the same time, and then you just like normal, like that's self-discipline because you're not doing that and not being some sort of disciplined. If you weren't disciplined, you would be chaotic, like going crazy when we talk to you, but you doing this like it's
girl, I go crazy sometimes. And maybe that's something that we should maybe we are our worst critics, so we're always so much harder on ourselves. We're so nice to other people, or so it might be easy for us to show sympathy and empathy or whatever, like be gentle to other people, and it's not as easy for us to be gentle with ourselves. And I think that this is probably definitely an area where I need to be a little more gentle with myself, and tell myself, hey, I don't need to beat you up just because you didn't do this today, because I go into that Virgo perfect mentality type of thing where I need to do this, and this. So thank you for just bringing that awareness to myself. I don't even remember what you just said, but something you said just was like,
be gentle to yourself when you were juggling it all. Like,
yeah. And then I discredited your compliment. I do that a lot too. People compliment me on things, and I'm like my husband will say, oh, you look so beautiful, and I'm like, oh, when I'm fat, I look, and he's like, but I think you look beautiful. And I need to start being able to just take compliments from people. So that's something else that I'm working on too.
Are you telling us that that's something that you're gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna do better with that. It is hard for me to receive positive energy from people sometimes, because sometimes I just, not my husband or y'all, not saying that I don't know the energy that y'all are coming at me with, but sometimes people say things and they're just not genuine. So sometimes people's words to me just don't mean a lot. I don't mean to discredit anyone, but just show me that I'm beautiful, or show me that I'm this. That's how I feel. I'm not really a words person, even though I fucking can talk your head off.
So if another female that's like not being like lovey in an extra way to make you feel gay or nothing, but if she tells you you're beautiful and you don't know that it's genuine, how does she show you that it's beautiful?
Like, your hair, or I love this. It's like the way that they can maybe say something besides you're beautiful. So maybe I feel like, right. So what do you think is so beautiful about me? I love your eyes, or something like that. Now that to me is telling me that you think that I'm beautiful in a way. I know I'm so weird. I'm so weird, guys. I'm working. Okay. And I understand that people don't express themselves how I need them to express it, so I have to get up out of that too.
Yeah, everybody interprets things different.
All of these are things that I'm trying to be more self-disciplined with. Like, I really am. I literally told a girl earlier today, like, be gentle to yourself. And then I'm like, because I was supposed to say that to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to break it down. I did look up self-discipline. And it says, yes, it says the ability to control one's feelings. Hold on. The ability to control one's feelings overcomes one's weakness. Mm-hmm. And then it also said the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. Mm. So when you really think, when I look at Saturn, that's why I wrote it down, because I'm like, that sounds like intuition. It almost
being
sounds
able
like
to stand on something if someone
standing on your own. So I feel like, and I also wrote down, I said the hardest person to discipline is yourself. And you stated that you said that it's very hard because you can easily say this is what somebody is not going to do, but what are you not going to do to you? Like, what are you allowing to continue with yourself?
Yeah. That
you allow to hinder you, that because you be knowing what's good for you and what's not good for you.
Absolutely.
So it's like when
you say that you don't, and you know good and well that even if you say you don't, you feel it in your body.
So yeah, that's also when you're not just your intuition, your discernment comes in, because it's like, if you know what's good for you, are you going to make the right choice or the wrong choice for you?
And that's free will.
That's really the self-discipline, because I feel like self-discipline is structure. And we are so much these free spirits, like we need self-discipline because we need the structure, because we have to stay focused on our purpose. Because it's so easy for us to go, like when you first get on your journey, you is soaking up everything. You like, oh, I want to try this. I want the crystals. I want the cards. I want everything. I want everybody to feel love. I want them to feel what I feel. And then once you start traveling a little bit deeper into it, you like, I don't want nobody to know. I don't want, like you like I don't want, like you start
At first
to
it's
really
the yellow brick road, and then it's like the red brick fucked up road.
But it's literally funny that those are the examples that she used, your crystals, and what else did you just name? Your cards. And because
everybody feel love.
Because besides the one everybody to feel love, I've been working on myself within the last few weeks, and I've been reading a book that we got when we were out of town on our little vacation in Richmond called The Healing the Angry Vagina, I think, by Queen Afua. So I've been just working on certain things for me to make me feel better, and one of them has been playing around with my crystals, pulling my cards. I just told you today, I haven't really done readings like that in a long time. I did a reading today after work, and that was one of the reasons why I had to go back to my job, because they asked me for some cords. So I'm like, the only cords I have are in my classroom. I just looked at them today. I explained everything to let them know the energy around the cords and everything. And before I had to come here for our podcast, she would like the things that she purchased over her reading. And I was like, I haven't done anything for Spiritually Connected in so long that I'm going to honor the business right now, because this was unexpected. So that was like self-discipline for me, and it made me feel good, because you just mentioned how you don't use your website for a naughty soul, and you still doing business. And then I just I didn't plan for no reading when I got off work. Right. It was not in the cards for me this morning.
Right.
But I've been pulling my cards lately and doing other things, and fooling around with my crystals and going back to things that I did when I was really working on me and learning stuff. Because when I'm with crystals, it ain't like I'm just collecting them. I don't know what they do for me, but it's like they connect me to everything, and I could pick up a crystal and it's going to make me think of a certain energy or what I need to do for it, and then later I'm going to go look the crystal up maybe 3 months later, and it's exactly whatever I was feeling, this energy for this crystal is that. So I know that there's something for me at this point. I guess it's not the beginning of the journey. It's like now that I know who I am, I know the things that I done picked up is for me. So use my self-discipline and go do the things that I'm supposed to do with the knowledge I have taken.
Because when you are self-disciplined, that also keeps you on your path. Like, it keeps you being able to stay in alignment, because you're saying, okay, I know that I might want to go and do this, but this is what I got to do right now, because I know that this is what I got to do. When you do that and you say, I am going to put me first and what's necessary for me first, you start to just really, things become effortless. And I don't want to say that like you don't have to do any work. When I say effortless, is that maybe you might speak out something that you want and it's there in front of you. You might speak out something in that day and it's there in front of you. And it's only there because you are being disciplined enough to stay on the path to get you to what you're even asking for. Like, your path is where your manifestations are going to be, where your blessings are going to be, where your hiccups are going to be, where whatever is going to be. So if you're not on your path, you're not going to hit those. You're not going to hit the blessings. You're not going to hit the turbulence that you need to go through in order to get over this. Sometimes you go through some shit. You might go through something that makes you work harder, because when you get up here in your journey, you're going to need to be that strong. It's not to like knock you off of your shit. It's to say,
to prepare you for what's coming.
Yes, it's to say, hey, you need this right now, because you need it for now and you need it for later on. Like, it's not for us to understand why we need to do certain things. It's for us to understand that we need to do certain things, and stop asking why. Don't ask why to everything. Okay.
Follow your intuition.
But if you know that this is what you feel, be strict enough on yourself to say, this is what you need to do. Just like we tell our kids, you need to brush your teeth in the morning. You need to pay attention in school. You need to learn. You need to do. We're telling them that because we know that these are things that they need to do. Not because we're trying to just tell them what to do. We're telling them because we know it's what they need to do. We know it, right? So if something inside of us, if God is telling me to do something, I need to do it. Because clearly he knows that's what I'm supposed to do. And if you don't believe in God, God ain't always got to be outside of you. God could be yourself. As simple as that. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was about to say something.
I was going to say that's when that, you hear that saying, things happen for a reason. Like, we don't know what the reason is, but we know there was a reason behind it.
Even the things that hurt or makes no sense to us at all.
Especially the hurt. it's a clip of Janae that's going viral right now about her speaking about how the darkest moments in her life were like the most clarifying moments she ever went through. And that is absolutely right, because when you are sitting in nothing but the dark, you have no choice but to be the light, baby. You have no choice but to be what helps you see. So being self-disciplined is saying, I might have to sit in the dark, but I'm okay with that. Because actually, if you sit in the dark long enough, you start to see shit. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been in a room and it's dark at first, but then you keep looking and now you can see everything in the fucking room. And you're sitting in the dark.
My 2020 ain't like it, so you know I be adjusting. Y'all know my eyesight is snacks. Like I'm just...
Honey, it must be a Capricorn thing. Charles' eyesight.
No, my eyesight is snack. But no, that is very true.
Yes.
And that's with anything, like, if you really focus on you and what you need, the outcome is going to be there. Like, not always the one you want, but the one that was meant for whatever phase you were in that life.
And always what you need. Always what you need.
I got a question. What if you're comfortable?
Okay.
And when I say comfortable, just like if you're just comfortable, and you can be comfortable and not even know you're comfortable when I say that.
Right,
Like,
unconscious,
you got about to say,
it becomes the norm.
like it becomes a thing. So how do you use your self-discipline to get you out of your own comfort zone? Basically staying in your own way, pretty much in a nutshell. Because I know for myself, in my past, it's been very hard for me to step out and you actually have a plan, structure, and put it and execute. Like the execution part be the hardest part with the self-discipline, because I can go, I can be like, I'm not about to do this no more. And about a couple days go by and I'm gonna do that shit that I said I wasn't gonna do no more. I'm gonna do it again. So it's like, of course I know to give myself grace, but at some point in time I felt like, that's when, you take a step up, you elevate, and you take a different kind of accountability, because you know what you be doing and you know that it's not good for you, but you still partake in those things. So I feel like self-discipline is pretty, for me, it's like the Joker is two-faced to me. So because sometimes it can be very beneficial for me, and then sometimes it can hurt me. Like me being me being too self-disciplined, and like you said, it should hurt me.
I think it should sometimes.
And it's like, when do you determine when that's okay? Because sometimes that can be healthy and that cannot be healthy.
I get that. Like people who don't give themselves a break, like schedule full. Even if they have a break, they know exactly what they're utilizing the break for. You mean like that?
Right.
Like
so planned.
And very critical on yourself. If something goes wrong, you're hard on yourself. For one, I feel like just take a deep breath and relax. Like literally, take a deep breath and relax. If you're always doing something, you're truly not spending time with yourself.
I'm finding that I'm talking to myself. Not in like a ooh, you need help. You talk to, like, not in that type of way, but I feel like I'm a person that needs reassurance. So because I know that I need that, I am reassuring myself that, girl, it is okay that you're not fixing this or you're not doing this. Like, it's fine. And then it's like, you know what? It is fine. The world didn't end. Nothing fell apart. So being able to, it's like, you have to do that.
You have to find balance. That's where temperance comes into play. Because in temperance, that you're able to kind of be balanced and understand like being comfortable versus being uncomfortable. So if there may be times where you are being maybe too gracious with yourself, then maybe it's time for you to be a little harder on yourself. Not saying that all the time you're supposed to beat yourself up, but even opposite, if you're beating yourself up all the time, then you need to be a little bit more gracious with yourself. That's temperance, learning how to balance that yin, yang, this energy, that energy, and figuring out where you work in the middle. Also, being if you're in a comfortable place, you're not growing, because uncomfortability is what helps you grow. So maybe instead of taking the instances where this is like the most comfortable thing for me to do right now, or this is what I feel like I need to do, even I've had a bad day, And especially on those, I've had a bad day, and this is where I'm comfortable. But see, that's like the time where you can really try to implement what you're trying to do. I've had a bad day, but that's not going to stop me from doing what I said I was going to do. I said I wasn't doing this, and that's that. I said I was doing this, and that's that. We can't allow things outside of us to take power and control over ourselves. Even if, and when you say you're going to do something, 10 times out of 10, fuck 9. That shit gonna pop right up in your face to that day, the next day, or the day after because you said you wasn't gonna do it. So now it's like, yeah, bitch, whatever. Let's see what you talking about. And a lot of the times, we fold. We fold because we don't think that in the moment, right? We don't think that it matters that, okay, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but it doesn't matter if I just do it this one time. And I'm not saying beat yourself up because you don't get something right the first time. But if it's like the 468th time that you said you wasn't going to do something, you should probably beat yourself up a little bit. Only because you're not helping you by not saying anything and acknowledging it within yourself. So be uncomfortable, because in them uncomfortable times and uncomfortable spaces is where you grow and you start to use that muscle that you ain't never used before. And that gives you strength to be able to really, really carry on this thing that you want to be so self-disciplined about. That's my answer to your question.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's like the life coach coming out of you right now.
So life coach.
Oh gosh.
I feel like when last week when we thought about self-discipline, when you planted that seed in my head, the first thing I wrote down was doing things when it hits your mind as soon as you should or can, versus like waiting. And that was like me personally, not everybody, but I know I'm a procrastinator. So to me, that would be a form of self-discipline. So then I wrote creating a schedule, even if you can't stick to it exact, because that's where if I create new structure and I get to break in it, that's when I be like, fuck this schedule, I just ain't gonna do this schedule, it don't work. But that's not true. Like Rissa said earlier, big risk, great question. When you're too disciplined, what do? Then that's when you relax, because if you stress yourself out, then you're gonna either burn out or either you're gonna say fuck it like I do. And I'll put something on the back burner for a whole year and be like, I need to start back to that schedule.
That's so crazy that you said that. It's so crazy. And the reason why I asked that question, because somebody, the other day, I had somebody call me and they asked me what I was doing. And I was like, man, I'm chilling. They was like, you chilling too much. And it made me sit back because I'm like, and then it made me, but it's crazy because I asked that question for a reason, because it just hit me. It was like, at this point in time in my life, I'm supposed to be resting. I have this time for a reason. It's not to be lazy, which that is my self-discipline coming to place. I feel like I'm alright, but I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something. And I'm supposed to be doing, like, I'm putting in, and I have this time for myself, and I've been given this time for myself, and it's like, okay, now you asked for time. You didn't have enough time before, so now we have time. So let's do what you supposed to be doing. Like, what are you supposed to be doing in this time? Not only are you supposed to be resting, but I'm giving you this time for you to clear your head and give you the clarity that you need, so you can figure this out, because you okay right now. That's why I say and it makes it uncomfortable, because I'm so used to I'm always working, and I'm like, for the first time I get to actually have flexibility in, if I want to do this, okay, I can work this, and it's okay. If I don't want to do, and it's uncomfortable for me, but I'm understanding that it's okay to be uncomfortable, because it's something new for me. It's something that I ain't never rest. I always feel like I gotta keep going and keep going. But for the first time, it's like
black people have, black women
sit down, like be, and it's to the outside, to the eye, it's starting to mess with people, because they be like, is something wrong? And I'm like, no, I'm actually very relaxed. I'm very calm. I'm just like, I'm chilling, and I'm like, and then and earlier when they said, I wanted to text you and ask you, was you all right? But I didn't, because I'm like, I wanted to respect your boundaries, and I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I mean, it's nothing really. It's like I'm chilling. It's like when things do, like I've been more in tune with, you know, my makeup and getting back into the creative things that
That's
I
what I
want
was
to
gonna
do.
ask you when you said I'm chilling. I'm like when you made it seem as if you're chilling doing nothing. I was gonna say
No,
that
I've
was
been
my
doing
one
nothing
question.
too, but I've been doing nothing
But you just
too.
named several things
And
that
it's
you've been
nothing wrong.
doing. You've
It's
been
nothing
taking a
wrong
break.
with doing nothing.
And I actually, and it's like, it's crazy that you said you had got a book, and I didn't get the book Movies in Richmond, but I was actually just scrolling on my Instagram, and it was like, it's this, this lady, can't think of her name off the top of my head, but it's the Nap Ministry. And the book I got is called Rest is Resistance. And it's basically talking about how black people, black women especially, be so tied up in that, you know, the white man's world. We got to do this. We got to do this. I didn't have these kids, so I got to work. I got to do this. And I'm like, sometimes it's like, yeah, you do got to do some of those things, but sometimes you don't got to do all that shit. Sometimes you just sit your ass down. Rest, and don't be shameful. Don't be ashamed to rest. And for a long time, I always feel like you can never sit down.
Because you've been taught to think that you
yes,
cannot
so
sit
it's
down.
like,
That's
If
why
you
when
do,
we
you're
sit
you're not
down,
nothing,
it's
or
like
you ain't
nothing
doing
else
shit, so you're not
happens.
productive, or you're not contributing to anything. Like you're not doing anything, and then we start to diminish other people who don't do anything. I've said that to my husband. I feel like people sometimes think that my time is not as valuable as theirs simply because they don't see that I have a job that I have to clock in and out of, but I have a job that I do from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. I don't have a job that I clock in and out of, and I don't get paid for that job. So actually, my time is a little bit more valuable to me because I'm not able to really do the things that I necessarily need to do right when I need to do them every day. But that's what people perceive in their mind. People perceive in their mind this notion of you're not doing anything because you don't have a job. That's what the world has made you feel.
If I was at work and I called the person that was at work, they would answer the phone for me. When I'm at work, anytime I've called you and I've been at work, besides probably once, you have never answered the phone for me. I don't know what the fuck you be doing between regular 8 to 4, 8 to 5, but you are not always present enough to just be on the phone. And that's realistic. If you call somebody at work 9 times out of 10, what they gonna do?
Because we at work on our phone.
Answer their phone.
Hold on, my sister calling.
And that's even a time that you get to check out from your kids. You don't really have any responsibility except for what these people say that you're responsible for right now. So as long as you get that done, hey, I don't really have any responsibility right now. I constantly have responsibility all the time. And it's not saying that anything negative about that. It's not saying anything negative about people that work. But what it's saying is that people's time is people's time. And what they do in their time is what they do in their time. You are coming into a point where I came into when I stopped working. It felt very uncomfortable for me to not be doing anything. Mm-hmm. And you are still working.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you're even still working and still feeling like that about yourself, that I'm not doing enough. Because I'm not burnt out, tired to the bone when I come home. I ain't doing nothing. And that's crazy for us to think as women, period, as a human, that you gotta be burnt out, tired to the bone for you to have effectively did some shit in the world. Are you fucking
y'all remember the first year we hung? I literally went into depression from not working.
Yes.
Like y'all remember? Yeah. Like I was.
You were like, no, I gotta work. No, I
felt like the girliest bitch in the world. It was like a pride. It was so many things. I felt like I was disappointing my parents. I felt like
it's that Capricorn shit too, cause y'all.
Yeah, I felt like I was broke. I felt like my boyfriend was helping me do way too much that I was not comfortable with. Like I felt like I was dependent on him because I didn't have a job. I felt like his mama thought I was a bum ass bitch. Like, oh my god, you done got this bitch that don't work. I thought all of this stuff, like just because I didn't have a job, and these people might have had thoughts, and it might have been weighing on me, but just alone on the inside, y'all, I was like depressed for like 3 months. And then a memory came up the other day when you tagged me in a job for the summer, and I'm like, damn, y'all was rude on me to get a job for a long time, even if y'all didn't necessarily agree that you have to work. Because T's been telling us that work if you feel like you have to, but be free. Like, if you can find your freedom, be free. And I feel that.
Oh, go ahead.
But it was so crazy that you said that, because when I was on that phone call,
and I was chilling in my robe, and I was so relaxed, y'all. And they was like, you so relaxed now.
They wish they could relax.
And it's so crazy.
They wish they could
and
relax.
it was so crazy when I said, and I felt offended a little bit because I'm like, what? I'm not supposed to be able to relax. And I said that, and it was so crazy because unconsciously,
a black woman shouldn't relax. Girl, you got so much shit you can be doing.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like, you're supposed to be doing this. And I said, actually, I'm supposed to be sitting right here sipping on this iced
exactly what the
coffee.
fuck I'm doing
And
right
I
now.
sat right there, and I lit my little blunt, and I was sitting there, and I was just chilling. I said, sir, you having a good day? Or, and he was like, I'll call you back. Come back.
Awkward.
No, it's not. It wasn't awkward to me because to me it felt good to stand up for myself. Because I'm like, I can do, honey. I've been working feet to the ground for the last 3 years. I can sit down for a couple weeks. I can sit down for more than that if I want to.
Literally, a generation of women. My great grandmother raised us. Okay, like don't not discredit to my mother. My great grandmother raised us, right? And my great grandmother, along with her sister, cleaned houses well into their 70s, 80s. Am I wrong? Am I right? Okay. Even after they had retired from working at Hollins College for 40 plus fucking years, okay, they still had to work. So that's not even talking about the generation of women before them. So we come from generations and generations and generations of people who that's all they knew was to work. So when you not working, you feel like it's not right. You feel like something's off.
And you might be battling one of them ancestors.
You might be going
you
to
like,
yourself, right? One of your ancestors
like,
that
girl,
said
you
you like,
get
girl,
your
you ain't
ass
doing
up.
nothing. Get your ass up. You got to find something to do. But you got to teach that ancestor because we got to remember they living vicariously through us.
We in a new time.
They still living through us, and we got to show them even over there where they at. Look, baby, this what y'all did. We ain't got to do that now. I thank God every day for my husband. You feel me? I don't give a fuck. That nigga put me in a position where I could focus on the shit that I wanted to focus on. I could work and develop my own dreams and do what the fuck I wanted to do. And no, it may not make all this money now, but what Glorilla say? I might be broke today, but I might be rich as fuck tomorrow. You feel me? And I can do that because I am able to dedicate time. I'm able to dedicate my energy, my craft. I don't have to give my craft the what's left over or what I can give it. No, I can give it whatever the fuck I want to give it. And I'm very thankful for that because there's so many people in this world that can't do that, want to do that, or maybe even people in that position and they don't take advantage of doing that. And if you have time, any time that you can dedicate to yourself, don't ever, people be having PTO that they don't take. Be having like 40, 50, 60, 100 hours of PTO. Why the fuck do you have all this PTO? Take the fuck off. I don't know who I'm talking to. Take off work.
It was me.
Take off work.
Take off.
I
ain't got
And
maybe that's why
work.
when you do take off, you're starting to feel
so
better because if you got that
Take
much PTO,
work.
look at the work that you.
What the hell are y'all doing?
You've been disciplined.
And you gonna get paid? Bitch, what is you doing? PTO compared to others.
Oh my goodness, because I really had said, okay, 2023, there were things I just wanted for me. It didn't have nothing to do with my kids. It didn't have nothing to do with my home. It was for me. I was like, every month, take a day for you. Every month, I don't care what even if you don't. I literally Monday I was like, you know what? It ain't it. I literally clocked in at 8 and was out by 8:30, and I did absolutely nothing. Somebody called. It has been the best fucking day in a really long time, and I did absolutely nothing. And I'm finding that those moments be the best moments, and it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't clock into work, but I clocked into me. It was me time. And United Healthcare paid me for that.
So I ain't clocking to work, but I clocked into me.
So why not? And I literally had just, and I said,
that's a quote right there.
I was going to do better with taking time. So I literally went through every month, just picked a random day. And on my calendar, to remind myself what the day is for, it was self-care. You.
Period.
And it's not, I'm taking PTO to take my kid to an appointment or anything
right.
else. It's
lying.
for you.
What you lying for? Tell them won't be in today and give them no reason
Prepare
why.
the others. Ain't
Prepare the others. I won't be in. Now, look, if you ain't got no PTO, you already got 55 strikes at your job, don't take off work. Now, listen to me. I am lying to you. I ain't telling nobody to go out here and lose their job. But what I'm saying is take care of yourself. And stop taking care of these businesses and everything else and your kids and your man and everything else before you take care of you. Because they should get the fucking overflow, period.
You said something a little while ago that really sat with me.
Girl,
and I wanted to comment then, but we kept flowing. It was, if you have the time to focus on you and your business or whatever, take that. I think of the 2 times that I had the time to really focus on me and my business and what I did with it. And all I did was rested. So that's one of my biggest things that I'm not critic on myself about. I'm like, the next time I truly get a break or time, I'm going to invest that energy different. And that's where my self-discipline come in, because I feel like last year I had a down season. I was just out of touch with myself, out of touch with reality. But this year, like, when I say I'm back, I'm back. When you brought up self-discipline last week, I wrote down some things that I needed to work on. It was reading more, not doing readings, but actually reading a book, holding it in my hand, and taking the time out my day to dedicate some knowledge into myself.
Right.
Grading papers on time. I've been grading more papers a day. I ain't gonna say everything graded on time, but I've been grading more papers a day and trying to get them in the grade book than procrastinating. And then when I go home, I'm gonna spread all my papers out on the floor and put them in piles and work on grading, because report cards due this week, and I shouldn't keep setting myself up for this failure, like, of having to grade at the last minute. I know I need to grade on time, so I need to start doing that shit actively instead of saying, it's been a long day or it's been a rough day at work, fuck these papers, because it ain't fuck them kids' educations. I don't play about it, so why am I play about grading their papers? I know their families actually give a fuck. Like, so let me send this home so they can know what's going on. But their grades aren't bad, so at the same time, I be feeling like they gonna be okay getting the grades when they come, because the report card's gonna be good. I actively talk to the parents. So then I was like, improving my diet. Well, reading the book helps me want to work on improving my diet. I'm not gonna say I completely improved my diet throughout this week, but I picked the healthier option a few more times. Like last night, we ate the weirdest combination for dinner. We ate baked tilapia. I made it, and I didn't use a lot of seasoning, and it felt great because he fucked it up. That's her
She
preference.
just shared a status about both of that
I feel
tilapia.
some type of
And
way.
I'm
Baked some white.
Baked tilapia.
Some catfish. Like
Chicken
some,
shit
Ain't nothing wrong with that, sis.
peas and carrots,
Peas and carrots.
and rice. And it was like we had like 2 meats,
It's
2
not
vegetable
a little
things.
Japanese.
Yeah, but it was like
it could if
all
you would fried it together.
separate.
It could have been like
Yeah.
some hibachi.
But I felt like that was healthy for us, because normally we'd eat some shit with a whole bunch of cheese or just a whole bunch of
You know I'm proud of you.
wheat.
I'm proud of
It's
you.
either me and Dion gonna
I'm
eat
proud of
decent,
you.
or we gonna eat like
Crazy.
we don't care about our bodies. And we both in a predicament where we need to care more about our bodies, and we always talk about what health means to us. So I be telling him, like he be telling me, we be telling each other on different days, if health mean this much to us, he be like, babe, you need to start working out with me. You said you're gonna start working out. You ain't got off a day yet and worked out. I be like, you say you want to work on your body. We need to start putting this and this in our diet. If I bring it home, eat it. Like, I don't just waste money at the grocery store for the shit to go bad or for just me to eat it, and vice versa.
Gym over here too. Y'all want to go?
We was just talking about that.
Yeah, I got a gym over here. That's a weight side, and it's the side that got the machine. So if y'all want to come, me and Nikki was just talking about it. We can come to the gym.
Okay, and we could do that because
Anything.
that's a part of
And it'll help us be self-disciplined
Yes.
by holding ourselves accountable and saying, "Hey, we said we was going to the gym. She's skinny, so we talked."
That don't mean she
Look,
don't
I'm
need to
just
work out,
saying.
though.
But look at how she looks
I
sitting
just
and
want
look.
to say, I just want y'all to hold yourself accountable and not eat
That's
no more
right.
tilapia.
You know
I,
what?
look, I've been fucked
You
up.
know
Since
what?
She said, I've been sitting here like, if
If you're gonna judge me about some tilapia,
I'm not
She said, "If you're gonna judge
I'm
me,
not judging you. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying.
I'm proud of it. It was baked.
It was
Yes.
baked.
I'm proud
You
of
can bake
you.
other fish though.
okay, that's what he like. If you have this
He like
conversation with your
tilapia.
Virgo brother, that's what he like, because that's what his mama fixed him growing up.
Ooh.
So if he likes tilapia, I'm gonna fix my man tilapia, because that's
If
my
he
man. I'm
likes
gonna stick by
tilapia
him.
too, he a light
period.
flounder. It's
Okay,
just
so we
flakier.
gon-
It looks
We
just
gonna
like
talk
it.
flounder when
But
we
I
do
used to
it.
fix tilapia, so I ain't gonna like play it. But I don't fix it no more. But I ain't gonna play it. I used to eat that. I used to eat tilapia.
Y'all are.
Cause if that's my man, then he wants tilapia.
And that's
what
right.
I'm gonna fix
Cause that's
for
her
him,
man, and she gonna stick
period.
by him. Because that's her man. My man. My man. My man. My man. Okay.
Well, he needs to try some white bean flounder or something else.
Well, I hope he listens to this
Yeah.
episode so he can hear what the fuck you guys.
Please.
I hope he does. Maybe this
Please.
is
I love you. It was not me who
It
said
was me. It was me. I
Marissa.
didn't. I love
So-
you too. Virgo's for
So
life.
she's saying you need to
I
self-discipline
love you
yourself
too.
with the choices.
Look at her. She's talking directly to Dion right now. So she said.
Alright.
Oh
And
my
the last
God.
one for real though was taking my herbal remedies consistently.
Yeah, that's
because
me. I need to
I
do
always tell y'all I'll take something when I get sick or when something's wrong with my body in a specific way, but if you're taking them consistently, then it'll be less of those moments, and I'll do good for a little while before and after I'm sick sometimes, and then it's like I fall off because I ain't got time to make them or because I don't feel like it. So when you really said this hit home. Like, I had a bad day or I had a whatever day. It doesn't have to be a bad day. I had a long day. I had a fun day. But I'm doing this. If it's that one thing, even if it's one thing for you or for your responsibility, if you neglect all other, make sure you're doing like one good thing for you.
yourself. Absolutely. This should be love. Self-discipline. Discipline yourself. Just pick one thing. Don't write everything down on the list you need to do and then try to do everything.
We make a
Just
long
pick
list.
one. Make the
Let's-
list, but pick one.
Let's
Pick
start
one.
small.
And when you really get that down, then go back to your list and see what else you wrote down. Write shit down too. Stop thinking that you're gonna remember it in your head. Write it down in a book. Put it in your little note on your iPhone. Whatever you gotta do to remember, write it down so that you can really like get to working on it, have the list, and really be proactive. Self-discipline. I challenge whoever to write down some things you want to be more disciplined about and start with one. Start with one.
Sidebar, I'm completely disappointed that I don't think any of us talked about needing to be more self-disciplined with financial spending.
Because you're a
Dang.
Capricorn, and that's fine.
Because a lot of people be wanting to talk about that in real life. They be like, how do I become more financially disciplined, or I'm not
You know what I'm
financially
learning?
disciplined
You know what
in this
I'm
way?
learning? It's the money gonna always come.
Girl said
The money gonna always come.
Okay,
I'm
so,
learning.
But we need it for a rainy day
We
too.
do.
Yeah.
So
we do.
if you could do something constructive, even if it's like getting a whole life policy, a whole life insurance policy,
'Cause I believe in
you
that
can
shit.
eventually
I do believe in the money.
borrow from that shit. Then like you can get money off of that shit. That's how people
Borrow.
get money. So get you a whole life insurance policy if you thinking like that. If you know okay, I'm gonna be working, but let me just get this life insurance, and then in a couple of years, if I need 20 grand, I can borrow from my life insurance. Fuck it. I mean, be like that. Just do smart little things like that. You know, even if money gonna always be there, put $20 up. If money gonna always be there, make sure you got life insurance. If money gonna always be there, make sure you got the shit that you need.
Even if it's only 20 a check, or when you get
Right.
the money, make sure you putting something up for a rainy day, because somebody's rainy day might be for $100 they need, but somebody's rainy day literally might be the $40 that they need. Everybody's
Right.
lives is different, and your needs change day from day.
You're a Capricorn. You are definitely about that money. Honey, they not playing. They really trying to save. They are always thinking of doomsday. I think I told you that before. They are Capricorns always planning for doomsday.
It's a
My
problem.
husband is a Capricorn.
That's
He's always
like
planning for
a
doomsday.
barrier for me and Dion. He doesn't like the fact that he says I won't even plan shit for us to do. If he says fuck his money, he's like, you don't even care about what I have to offer. If you feel like you don't have no money,
yes,
you won't plan shit for
Oh,
us to
that
do.
is so
You won't bring nothing
Capricorn.
up. So I had to sit back like, damn.
So Capricorn.
I don't mean for that part of me to play out in my relationship to the point where he feel like I'm uptight or I'm not a reflection of what I want to be. I need to relax with financial stability, but I do care about controlling my financial
It's nothing
spending.
wrong with you being so alert of it, though. Because as black people, a lot of us are not alert of our financial circumstances because we've seen struggle our whole life. And whatever, we just feel like, shit, if my mama struggled her whole life and she made it, then shit, I can make it and I make more money than what she get. You know, that's how a lot of us think. So it's nothing wrong with thinking like that. I don't want what I said to make you feel like there's
No.
something wrong with that.
No,
But
what
you
you're
don't-
saying.
Don't
you're
block out what
saying-
you want to do just because of whatever. If he's saying he can take care of it, let him take care of it. That's your nigga. Let him do it.
And at the same time,
That's
what
your
you're
man.
saying, what did you just say, quote for quote? I don't know, but you
I don't
said
know, girl.
if you make more than your mama, basically
You
don't
feel
feel
like
like you. Yeah, okay. People be thinking that the
Mhm.
generational curse breaking. This goes to your shirt. Generational curse breaking. People be thinking that that's just about financial gains.
But why work
and
at United
stuff like
Healthcare?
that.
My mom worked at Waffle House, so now I broke a generational curse.
Yeah, no, that is like deeper than that. That is healing your
What?
traumas.
What?
That is disciplining yourself and then raising you and your kids in a different image of what you've already seen. That is like making breakthroughs, whether you talking to your family or not. That is making like breakthroughs with your family of things
Yes.
that has always been hurtful or things that y'all literally couldn't leap past. That might be getting your kids out of poverty,
Yes.
but at the same time, that might be teaching your kids to stand up against the family rapists, because back in the day, everybody got raped and nobody vocalized about what's going on.
Elevated.